Those kids in that class, this is their reality. This is their condition. They don't know any better. This is affecting their mental health, and it's taking away from their education. So shame on those who are complicit with this. Shame on them.
It's absolutely priceless, the response of our institution, the response of Halton District School Board, the response of the high school principal.
I think it's sick, I think it's twisted, and I think that children should be able to have an education and not
indoctrination.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Burlington, Ontario. And folks, I'm just about a football field or so away from the Halton District School Board. This is the site of a protest led by the People's Party of Canada. They're not afraid to take on the hot issues. I wish I could say that about some other political parties. But in any event, it's in regard to Mr. Carrie-Luc Lemieux, going by the name now of Miss Kayla Lemieux. He is the one with those enormous fake breasts. He wears see-through tops with nipples protruding. He wears a long blonde wig, tight bicycle pants. It's quite a spectacle. And, you know, the question arises, what in fact is he doing? It has surfaced on social media. This might be an enormous prank, or maybe this is some kind of bizarre transitioning. But I don't buy that. I think most people, regardless of the gender, who are transitioning do it in a subtle fashion. They're not trying to bring attention to themselves. So there are so many questions to the enigma that is Mr. or Miss Lemieux. Let's wade into the crowd and find out what their concerns are.
We got into this mess as a society, and we can choose to let things get worse, stay the same, or get better. All three options are available to each and every one of us to pick. It's up to you to pick the one that best suits you. As for me, I'm standing up and saying, not on my watch. Thank you.
But we are asking the school board, please work for your students. Work for the parents. Have a common sense and just look at what is happening right now in our country. Stop that, and you can be courageous. And no, they don't want to do anything now because they think that somebody will sue them on that because of the human rights code. They think that they're going to be sued. So what? So what? When the legislation and the law is unconstitutional, illegal, and unethical, you must act in line with your values and not following that law or that legislation.
What I see is a bureaucracy that's paralyzed by very poorly thought out legislation.
The most important thing in the whole incident, what's happening right now, is it's absolutely priceless, the response of our institution, the response of Halton District School Board, the response of the high school principal. There is no response from Doug Ford.
Well, I live very close to here. It hits home for me, and it's so outrageous that someone would be acting out a fetish in front of children, and then of course to just dodge the question and run away. It seems like the response across the board, like the world is certainly taking a turn.
I think it's sick, I think it's twisted, and I think that children should be able to have an education and not
Indoctrination.
education, not indoctrination.
I think it's terrible. Like, I come from a background of social work, and just 2 years ago we were taught that this would be sexual harassment and sexual abuse in schools, and I just find it appalling. Like, we're erasing women.
I think that our leadership has failed us in every way. The people that we put in positions of trust have not fulfilled the trust we gave them. They're taking the rights of the parents away, and it's wrong. And we cannot be teaching immoral values to our children, and we cannot sexualize them.
I've been freedom fighting where I'm from in Tonawanda, New York for years now. But Ottawa, the truckers back in January inspired me. We were so stoked. We were so into it. We were like, right on, Canada, go get them, and fighting for freedom and all that.
And it made me realize that freedom has to be fought not just in the United States, but in Canada and other places as well.
A father reached out to me. He said his daughter in this school district received a suspension because she was wearing a spaghetti strap top. It was a very hot day. She was just trying to stay cool. That's wrong, but evidently he can have these fake nipples protruding through see-through material, and the school board says the dress code is only for students, not for the teachers. How does that make sense?
Maybe the union has something to do with it, the teachers' union. That's what I'm wondering.
You know, we've had some issues at our own school. Our kids are, in elementary school, and let me just say, we're not loved at that school anymore. But we had our son removed, both of our sons removed from all the health education because it's about your paycheck. It's about your retirement. You know, they're happy to see these kids suffer, and they're happy to do what they have to know is not acceptable.
Well, we support LGBTQ. It's not a trans issue. I think that it is a safety issue, and I think that teachers as professionals are there to teach the children in a good way and not indoctrinate them like that.
Whether he's pranking or not, this is the lightning rod that has woke a lot of people up, and I think that is the great thing of it. If he does need mental help or some counseling, then I think we should do it, because we've been failing people, Dave.
I started conservativegenz.ca just to bring a Gen Z perspective to all the things going on in the world right now. So it's American, Canadian politics, social issues, and just everything that's going on in this crazy world right now.
Like I said, when tyranny becomes law, common sense revolution becomes our duty. It is our duty, and that's why we are here. We will do that fight, and we will win. Stay strong and free. Thank you.
Sign our petition at protectthestudents.ca. That's protectthestudents.ca. You can make your opinions known at that URL to the school board members, and when we assemble a critical mass of signatures, I will personally deliver it right here to the Halton District School Board, assuming they won't have security and police block me. So again, go to protectthestudents.ca and make your voices heard.